Hey guys, how are you? Um, Happy weekend to you. Happy autumn equinox weekend. Whether you observe the wheel of the year and you are maybe pagan and earth-based in your tradition. Let me scoot you guys back a little bit. Um, and maybe you just observe that it's autumn equinox, equal day, equal night, here in the northern hemisphere. It's going to start autumn for us. So technically, it's the first day of fall, y'all. I hope you're doing well. I am healing, taking good care of myself. It's been a challenging time. Really, since I want a different deck, you guys. Hold on. Excuse me, since later last week, even. But just dealing with some crud and gunk and, making sure I take good care of myself and my energy. I've also been working on the beautiful things. You guys, I'm obsessed with this candle. Let me show it to you. So I make these, what we call pumpkin patch candles each year, and they're very beloved. If you're watching, you guys may have some of them in your own space. Let me show you these though. Hold on. Because listen, I'm obsessed with them. I need to upload a short so that you can see them. But I made these for a private sale, and I may make listings to offer these again. Look at these witch brooms. Oh my gosh. Look at the acorns. Do I harvest them when I hike and collect them on my own? Yes. Is that maple leaf on their local? Yes. Look at it. Okay. Anyway, so just a little fall seasonal excitement. But yeah, you know what? I was gonna grab another deck, you guys. Um, the energy. Oh man, it's been quite something else. And it's not surprising to me, but we are we are in autumn equinox again, as we would call it. On the wheel of the year, it's Saturday afternoon here. On the wheel of the year, we'd be observing Mabon, and it is kind of like the second harvest time. In the first harvest season, we talked about in August. And this is very much like Lamas, Lunasa, however you say that. You're just basically Egyptian is a big like New Year time. You're celebrating sun god energy, celebrating the sun and all these portals. And then in the second leg of the harvest, is more like, I always compare it to if you were not pressed into a Gregorian calendar, right? Which, by the way, no one is. Okay. But what is a calendar anyway? Let me not get Aquarian on you. The second harvest season is a lot more of like, your fruits. You're bringing in a bulk of the harvest. A lot of it, well, it depends on where you live. September and October really, but in October you're getting more into the last legs of the harvest and the closing of the wheel of the year. So happy second harvest. Autumn equinox. Happy fall, y'all. Whatever you say, So again, I know for some this opens in other parts of the world this opens springtime. So that's very interesting to think about the polar opposite. But between the 22nd and the 23rd, we are wrapping up Libra season. And quick, astronomy, well, more like astronomy lesson, but when you're talking about the equinox, basically the sun is passing over that celestial equator. You have equal length of day and night. And then, of course, after this proceeds, going forward, the dark, quote unquote, will begin overtaking the light. She gonna be getting darker a little bit earlier. So now, personally, I love all seasons for different reasons, right? But I don't know. You know, guys, I don't know. I feel like I was going to be, you know, oh my goodness. Don't get me wrong, because I do love a good pumpkin spice. Okay, I really try not to partake in like a lot of the syrups and all that stuff. Honestly, I can't for my own health. But listen, on a chai, like the whole pumpkin spice vibe, all the seasonings, I'm here for it. And you do you enjoy what you enjoy, but you know, please take good care of your health. I can't. There used to be days where I would just, man, engulf all the pumpkin spice lattes, but I really don't do that anymore, just to be really honest with you. But man, the closest thing it makes me think of now would be like a chai tea, you know, or apple cider, although I really can't do a lot of sugar. But you get the vibe, you know what I mean? So I love all of it. I'm here for all of it. Um, but it's a very interesting transition. It's energetic, as well as it's palpable, and it is. There's a duality to this transitional time, right? And it is very much, again, is very much kind of likened to where Thanksgiving would really traditionally be. Look, I was about to go off on a tangent about why in the world is it even where it is now. But look, I'm not going to argue with something silly like this calendar, y'all. I'm not even going to waste the energy. Listen, but at the same time, there is very much an, as you would say, attitude of gratitude. And of course, it's absolutely so important. We have to have gratitude. Well, so let me tell you, we all have free will. You don't have to. You can choose whatever perspective you want. But if you are not grateful for, I would say, I was just going to try to pick one thing. I tend to have a naturally, my attitude is naturally filled with a lot of thanks. I've never really struggled for it to be challenging to do that. And that's, you know, that's my personality. I understand some people struggle more with that perspective. And there have been cycles in my life where I have as well. But it's just a very tricky thing about creating and about changing your frequency, changing your reality, your perspective, all these things, right? It's very tricky with the universe and with energy and with your ancestors and your guides and all these things, right? It's tricky to not be grateful for where you're at and what you have right now, and then want more above and beyond or something different. And it is very tricky to hold a certain, you know, like on a gravitational scale of energy. Once you kind of dip down below, I would say it would be easy to put a marker point. Let's say we have one of my teachers, you guys, she has what she calls her handy dandy gravitational. I mean, no, it's like an energetic vibration scale. And she's always pointing to it. Now I wish I had one. I'm going to have to get a printout of one. But I think gratitude would be a good marker, because when you are able to resonate with the frequency of gratitude, yeah, I feel like somebody said, but even if I'm here, I'm going to say no matter where you are, no matter where I am, yes, yes. And we could debate that. No matter where you are, absolutely. I mean, we don't have to be sitting and Spirit is saying eating poison out of a toxic spoon repeatedly by choice. And then you're talking about, I'm so grateful. I'm not talking about being delusional and about, you know, repetitively accepting things when we know that, when we know better and we do better and we're growing and we're healing. You know what I mean? But gratitude. Okay, so gratitude in this season, in Mabon, in autumn equinox, is extremely important. It's extremely important, and I would say applauds to you, even if you can get to a place where you can be grateful for the things that have challenged you, that have hurt you, that have caused you grief and caused pain and suffering, that were able to then later on in life cycles provide you with wisdom. bolster your courage, and you know what I mean? Things make us into who we are today, and so it is, when you're weaving the straw into gold, and you're working through this earth school here that we're in. This is energetic, and it's cyclical, and it's quite a journey, right? And so, yes, gratitude in this season is super important. I could probably just sit and reflect on and continue to share wisdom and experience on the path of practicing radical gratitude. And out of radical gratitude is very interesting. Something happens where you are threefold blessed in return for that. It's so funny. And it's kind of like someone who would say, I would challenge you to just give and be generous any opportunity that you can do so, and watch and see how that will come back to you threefold. Of course, we understand the threefold law, and what you put out comes back as within, so without, all this stuff, right? So gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Okay. But I think it's a tricky time in harvest season. It's a tricky time between Virgo transitioning. I think technically we're pretty much in Libra season now, because it's later in the afternoon here on excuse me, on Saturday. This camera, she's just wobbling everywhere. I think discernment is hugely important as well, because see, this interesting transition happens. We talked about how we go and we recover. We bring the codes down into the heart chakra. We have this healed, projected, very powerful heart chakra energy that wants to come out and flow in the auric fields. And we talked about, Sirius Stargate portal season. We talked about all these things that happen in Leo season, right? Recovery of the inner child joy, the restoration between heart chakra, solar plexus definitely, but powerful heart chakra. And so in Virgo season, excuse me, we pull that light down into the hermit's lamp, and then it's kind of more between the heart chakra, projecting out, blasting out, like a brilliant lighthouse. But it's also moving down and then going out through the solar plexus. And it's this process of saying, I remember who I am. I remember who I am. And that's because the codes that we have received have come in and have activated different parts of our heart chakra, and they flow, and then they blast open in the solar plexus, and those work together. And then sometimes up and out into the throat. But, well, the throat we could even maybe say is more reserved for Libra season. But listen, so here's what happens. And I'm going to tell you this is important for a reason, because when we transition, I'm trying to think of how I was kind of reflecting on this with spirit, and kind of, I don't know, I guess you could say I was receiving a lot of messages and just thinking through things in my own work. And it was kind of like this whole, when you go into Libra season, all right, if we back it up, remember we were talking about Cancer? We were working on the emotional body, clearing the emotional body. Nothing goes out that doesn't go through the waters before it goes anywhere else. And the waters have to be, in this given time, as clear and as pure as possible. Because this is cycles. We're talking about the wheel of the year, the wheel of the zodiac. Because then we'll have new cycles in the next turn of the wheel. But look, so we clear it out, and then we activate the heart chakra in Leo season, right? So we're bringing it and down, it's shining out into the aura, into the different fields, right? Through the different chakras from the heart. The heart is the big blasting Stargate portal, right? You think, here's the heart. Woo, 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 woo. Tap your heart chakra. Okay, that is that's the portal. And then you've got, your upper chakras connected, boom, in the heart. And then your lower chakras down to your feet and to the earth star, boom, they all connect back through the heart. And then you imagine that toroidal auric field, and it's all, I'm just trying to give you a visual imagination, if you will, but it's all coming out of the heart chakra, right? So then Virgo season kind of helps us circulate what the heart chakra has blasted open and magnified through those keys and magnified through those download codes and all these things that we worked on as we've been receiving since the spring equinox, since even maybe then before, when the light was coming back on the wheel of the year. So then we go into Virgo. Virgo kind of helps us think through it. It is the dutiful teacher, the secretary that helps us declutter, makes us make sure we're being efficient with this energy, with these codes, with these inspirations, messages, whatever that we've received. We bring the light and distribute it out through the lamp, right? You're thinking of the hermit. Okay, because then when we go into Libra season, and think of the timing of the year as well, and not just Gregorian calendar, but even traditionally. You would be in Mabon season, and then you would be in Samhain. You would be toward the whatever, maybe Dia de los Muertos, wherever you are, right? You're observing your ancestors, and then in December you'd be in preparation for the solstice, where everyone's kind of gathered around with family. You're sharing your harvest, your abundance. You're calling people into your homes. You guys are lighting logs together. You think of Yule, and you're with people that you're in relationship with, right? In a lot more close quarters. You're not really distracted by necessarily the hard work. Well, what a sham in this inverted whack matrix. We hard working all around the wheel. It don't even matter anymore. It's like, oh, you thought you got it. We don't even get all. Anyway, I'm not going to go on a tangent. But I'm saying, then you would have been like, wow, we're not distracted by work. I'm up on top of maybe my family, my loved ones, my friends, people in the community a lot more. Like I'm going to functions, I'm going to dinners, we're preparing for the holiday season, quote unquote, in whatever ways that you observe that. So in Libra season, you are pushed into this interesting dynamic where is like spirit, your ancestors and guides, and these cycles that we go through, and these people and these that we've emotionally contracted with. You get to evaluate. Okay, first, who am I? Right, because Libra is very relational. Okay, who am I? First of all, in relation with myself now. With everything that I've downloaded and received, everything, what is this that's trying to come out, that has circulated through my body, and my mind. Who am I in relationship with myself? And I'll pause to remind you, and I mentioned this in one of the other videos, is that the nodes of the moon have shifted, now. So for 18 months, we will be not in Taurus Scorpio dynamics. We'll also be in Aries Libra. So it is even more of an amplification of, wow, these next set of destiny fated encounters, you may say karmic lessons and or cycles that lead us to Dharma, or however you view that. And you may be in a place where you're like, you know what, I'm good. I'm kind of vibrating in a different place where I'm not in the karma of this, that, or the other. And I think that's beautiful too. But you know what I'm saying? This next ride around the wheel, the year that's going to come too, is going to be a lot about relational dynamics. So when we go into Libra season after Virgo season, we evaluate, okay, my light has circulated down now into my lamp. I know who I am, or at least on this ride around, I've recovered these pieces about who I am, and I'm getting these things in order. We're going to have other cycles. I mean, trust me. But these are the codes. And this year has been like boom, 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 power pack. So I would not be surprised if massive amounts of people were like, whoa, I fucking totally know who I am in Libra season in a way different way. And we have a lot of different energies. Like we also have, the outer planets in retrograde. We have Saturn in Pisces, Neptune in Pisces, and Pluto in Capricorn. So it's also going to be a big energy in Libra season as we transition here. Excuse me. And it's interesting that we see the Nine of Wands, because we get to this point in Libra season. Nine of Wands is about resilience. It's about remembering how strong you are. I also think it's beautiful because we are approaching all the seasons that we are in this pre-Raphaelite tarot. I love the depiction of the Nine of Wands because the wands are there, but it's also, she's not just the wounded warrior standing by herself. The nature spirits support her and sing songs to her. She is supported by Gaia, but also her ancestors, the roots, make me think of, it's like her ancestors saying, hey, we know you probably a little bit weary. All right, you may be ready for a holiday your dang self. You know what I mean? So here we are. We are in the second leg of the harvest. We're in Mabon, and You know, it's a comfort. It's a comfort from the earth spirits and the ancestors of saying, you're not a wounded warrior alone. Maybe you feel a little battle weary. But there's an interesting energy. And this also hits on this. This also hits sometimes when I hold the cards. I get like a lot of messages, so I'm like, boop, hold on. This also hits on the energy of the duality of this season, because I was feeling this overwhelming. I mean, I haven't been feeling well, so my energy, even not feeling well, I'm a higher energy person, but you know, my energy was low, but it was kind of like it was a palpable thing. And collectively, just from other people that I follow and things that people are going through and this and that, right? It was like it was like this feeling of something pulling and being like, you know, you should just give up. You should give up. It was a whispering, because you've got this higher vibrational, high calibrated, you know, I've worked really hard to integrate all of this, and here it is shining out of my lamp. So of course, like a moth to a flame, you know, you have the polarities. When something is healing and recovering and shining bright and it looks delicious and juicy like some good fruit in the middle of second harvest season, what's going to happen? Not only are you going to hear the higher vibrational messages and the higher attunement, you know what I'm saying? I don't want you to get stuck in the, oh, it's just a high vibe. No, I'm talking about energy. And you hear those messages from your guides and your ancestors saying, hey, you remember who you are. You remember that piece of yourself now. You remember those. You look at what you recovered. This, and this year. Wow. You know, I remember. And then it's like, I celebrate. I'm joyful. I'm reaping what I've sown. And it's a reaping. But there's a duality to the reaping as well. And you're going to hear the other energetic side of that. That's naturally going to be like, yeah, you know what? No, you fucking didn't. Yeah, you should give up. Should give up. And it's a tone of a vibration. Oh, you're really still going to pursue that goal? Aren't you tired? Excuse me. And it was to the point where it was like, what was I do? Oh, I had went out into nature to hike. You know, nothing strenuous, because I really was not feeling well. But I like to be in the sunlight and be in nature. This is Nine of Wands energy too. And I was like, you know, if nothing else, I'm just going to move my body and get in sunlight. You guys know how I am. I don't have no shoes on. I'm probably by a lake somewhere. I got my feet in the water. You know, I got to go do my thing. And that's part of my healing process for my body too. And it was just this whole energy of like, you shouldn't even go. No, you shouldn't even go. Why are you even going? You know, and it's a vibration. And I just want you to be mindful, because Virgo gifts us with a really, really beautiful energy of discernment. And we can only be as discerning as our you know, our connection to our intuition is that we listen to it. You know what I mean? So if the relationship's not there with your intuition, I'm just going to tell you now, it's hard to practice discernment. I don't know about y'all, though. It's like I have some really stubborn and loud ancestors. I don't know about y'all, because there's been times where I probably wish I would have had stronger discernment, but my ancestors all but, you know, what is it? I think of Rafiki, you know, he knows the way, like smacking me on the head. Okay, I have loud ancestors, but discernment is important in this season as well, because I don't even know what Spirit's saying very loudly. Everybody wants to sit at your table, right? Okay, holiday season come through. Oh, you making a harvest dinner? Oh, you harvesting? Girl, I want to be at your harvest, right? It's an energy. So there's another important facet of transitioning your discernment, your decluttering of your energy, things that you have brought in download and attunement, realignment, rebalancing and harmony, especially in the equinox weekend. You're going to come and ground it back down. Embodiment has occurred as well in Virgo season. And now, boom, we arrive in Libra season. Oh, let me just tell you, Libra season, everybody loves to smile in your face. It's Libra season. Yes, let's. Girl, let me call you. Oh, I'm so happy for discernment is important. All right, because as much as we attune with ourselves and find balance and harmony with ourselves, which is also very Libra, you think of the Justice card as well. And Libra is an empress and is about beauty and aesthetic and is very creative and all this, right? But she is also the Justice card. And so in Libra season, you know, Saturn retrograde in Pisces. Neptune still retrograde, still in Pisces. And Pluto's still in Capricorn. Yeah. Talking about, I'm going to need you to evaluate some of those timelines where your energy goes off into, or some of those relationships that you have connected cords to and agreements to. We're wiser. We're more discerning. We've integrated lessons of healing. We have calibrated certain parts of ourselves. We've recovered, right? And we are embodying now different sets of values, right? Uranus and Taurus, Jupiter and Taurus. Okay, so it's not just Libras, how am I relating with myself? First and foremost, that's important. But how am I and who am I choosing to relate with others? You know? Excuse me. And as just as this is just as much, I'm sorry, as this is an encouragement card. This is a resilience card. This is you're not a wounded warrior alone. We see you. You're well supported. You're almost to the 10. And what do we do with the 10? At the end of the wheel of the year, the 10 of wands, we putting wands on a bonfire. Okay, friends, because we are burning wands that do not belong to us to carry. And that's how we close cycles. Good night. Thank you very much. Okay, but at the 9, the 9 is a person who is also still upholding some boundaries. You know, in the 9 of wands is very much like, yes, I've done a good work and I know that I'm tired, but I still got a few boundaries, a few territories maybe over here, a few of this and that I need to defend from some whatever might come around here and want to sit at my table before I'm able to fully complete this cycle. So it makes a lot of sense for me that Spirit would have us looking at the 9 of wands during this time. And again, it is a beautiful time. It is a beautiful time. Hey, we reaping what we've sown, reaping season. But Spirit, your ancestors and guides would have you to remember that everybody ain't reaping on the same reaping season that you are. And you know, you've got the energies that would love to sit at your table and drink wine and toast with you. Don't get me started about cuffing season, quote unquote, and why it falls in this time of the year. Don't get me started, y'all. There's a reason. And then there's also this whole energy of discernment about people who see you rising into your own power because you're reaping what you have sown and you are glowing, and it is harvest season, and you looking good because you have a lot of delicious fruit at your table, right? And I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about energy, of how you look, how you feel, how you step into a room and affect people with your energetic signature. Okay, because we can activate, we can trigger, we can change people's entire energetic field just by being in a room with them, right? I know you know what I'm talking about, because sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, really? Why are they mad? Or what did I do? Don't do that to yourself. Anyway, we don't have time for that. But I'm just saying, Libra season will help you. And Saturn, Saturn will say, take accountability for the timelines, for the reality. Saturn in Pisces retrograde, let's slow down. Does this belong at the table with you in your dreams that you're going to be carrying forth into the next wheel of the year? Right? Neptune in Pisces is use your intuition to see through some of the illusion. And then Pluto in Capricorn, as we continue on through Libra season here too, we'll say, it looks like that needs to die, and I'm going to need you to take responsibility for that. And please understand, in Libra season, this will be a lot about relationships. Because y'all already know I love to talk to y'all one-on-one work. And if you've ever done work with me, you already know I'm going to tell you, okay, we might just start pointing with the selenite. But listen, I'm going to tell you, it's just because relationships are where you have to do the real work. Okay, and look at 5 of Cups. Because what were we not talking about? Crying over spilled milk. And this may not necessarily be you doing this, and it could be though, because sometimes in Mabon season and second harvest season, we're also reflecting and grieving over the things that didn't work. And do you know it's okay to understand that you're being protected from things and being asked to divinely remove yourself? Or look, sometimes, again, I don't know about y'all's ancestors and guides. Sometimes you'd be like, whoop. I mean, I said I was going to remove it, but okay, it looks like it's gone. And that's fine. And then sometimes it's not even that. It's just that some things we really put our best effort into. And we understand that it just wasn't meant for us in this season. And I love to tell y'all about the illustration. Look at this beautiful candle that's shaped like an apple. I will never burn it. But listen, apples, some of the apples on those trees, you worked really hard on all of them. Yes, you did. And some of those will fall because they had worms in them, but they will still put seed into the soil. They will make nutritious, beautiful soil. We need death to have rebirth and transformation. And that's okay. Pluto and Capricorn is like, look, it's okay. We're responsible. We're stable. Your ancestors, the earth, and the things that are meant for you that will always be for you will be here. But look, we know the things, the relationship, the people, and this can even be, again, remember, Libra season is also you and your relationship with you, because that's first and foremost. That's first and foremost, okay? I don't care about no soulmate, no twin flame. I don't care all this stuff, right? Okay, but first, it's you with you. So you may also find yourself evaluating and grieving over some things. Excuse me. This perspective about myself is really, really time for it to just die already. And that's okay. I'm going to grieve. I'm going to grieve because I know the trauma and the survival mechanisms, and I know the things in the cycle of my life that cause this in me. But you know what? It's tired. It's got to go. It's got to go. Or this doubt about myself, about how I'm going to do this one thing. And I keep trying to tell myself I can't do it. There may be things you with you that you're like, it's time for this to go. This job, it's time for this to go, this relationship. But again, within ourselves, this may look like it's time for me clutching on to these habits that do not support a healthy body. And they got to go. They're really holding me back. They're holding me back mentally. They're holding me back from being able to, use my best form of my mind and my energy. And it may be, again, survival patterns, wounded mechanisms that we are avoiding healing. It could be different things. And we're like, it's got to go. It's got to go, okay? But it's all right. Again, Saturn in Pisces is helping us say, I want to anchor in a whole new reality that I'm dreaming of, but I understand that I have to make room for it first. So if we find ourselves, Five of Cups, grieving over things that didn't work out, now I'm going to go ahead and tell you too. It could be other people holding the Five of Cups, but wanting to be sitting at your table. I'm just saying, smiling. Oh my gosh, look at you. But this is really what they look like, them to them in the mirror at home before they come to your table to sit at your harvest. So just practice discernment, but also know that your ancestors are always guiding and protecting you. See, some people might be like, ooh, okay, Nine of Wands with the Five of Cups and the Five of Swords. And it's just a way to understand, excuse me, that the message is to also reflect on some of the mental and emotional challenges that you went through, and the wisdom that they taught you. The Five of Cups teaches us to focus on the present is the only moment that we have, really. And that's a beautiful message of wisdom. And then the Five of Swords also teaches us that we ultimately, there's no battle that's not really starting within us first. And if we know ourselves, and the Five of Swords is kind of slaying the dragons, but we're always doing this within. And it's you with the next best, you would say in competition, or, you could even just say being challenged by the next best version of you the next day. There's a Five of Swords energy, and that's mental. And you can ask yourself, like, Five of Cups, Five of Swords it would definitely be like asking yourself what lessons that you have learned and what wisdom you have reaped from the mental challenges, what wisdom you have reaped from emotionally reflecting on maybe some things that didn't work out, but they helped you grow. Okay, but not lingering too long there, okay? We don't want to linger too long in the Five of Cups energy, because then we kind of get downtrodden and stuck in past. And at this time of the year, it's very easy to kind of get tugged on by emotional cords that want to have us stuck in old cycles. Excuse me, so we don't kind of release and let go the things that we really are actually very powerful to be able to do. And somebody's ancestors, again, I told you mine are loud, it could be mine, but they want to keep coming back to the Knight of Wands and just saying, you're not doing it alone. You're not doing it alone. Can we just take a minute to appreciate? Y'all, I love a good tree, okay? I'm totally the one that's like, guys, I have favorite trees everywhere I go. I'm constantly looking at the trees, but look at this. Look how supported she is by those roots, though, right? See what else we have from the tarot. Just encouraging you again, yeah, you know, as we transition from Virgo season into Libra season, that we remember and that we're just discerning of the lessons that we learned, what they taught us about who we are, what we want around us, who we want around us, and why, or why not anymore, right? And just remember, if you're repeatedly attracting certain type of people back into your life, you kind of got to ask yourself, what's inside me, right? What's inside me? And that's kind of a process of the Five of Swords too. We're all doing that inner mental work, right? Five of Swords always makes me think of Archangel Michael too. It's a lot of, the electric blue flame and the sword and the dragon, the blue dragon energy of protection, no matter like what your battles or your challenges have been through. So there's definitely, it's like a lot of protection energy here. All right, let's see. What are we at? 36. So Five of Pentacles is always for me. Wow. Oh, sorry guys. So we have all three fives. We don't have the Five of Wands. So this really makes me feel like we're doing a lot of work to release old patterns and old cycles, so that all of this that we brought down again through Leo season, through the heart chakra into the lamp, Virgo season. Remember Mercury in retrograde and a lot of that retrograde energy, working all of this through our mental, emotional, and physical bodies, to remove some of these fives challenges. You know, Five of Cups, I would always say, is kind of like living in the past and crying over spilled milk is something that I just can't believe it didn't work out. I can't believe they hurt me. I can't believe, and you're just really worried about emotionally pouring into a bunch of things. I'm just going to be straight up with you, are in the past and they don't even matter anymore. And I mean, they affecting you emotionally still. There may be a wound there or a deeper root or a deeper trigger that will help you learn something about yourself. And then Five of Swords, we kind of talked about that, the mental things that go on there. Five of Pentacles is definitely a mindset of lack, scarcity-based mindset. There's no reason to be dwelling in that anymore, because we're on a whole different timeline now. And living in the mentality that you lack anything is really kind of just duping yourself and letting yourself kind of go back to sleep in a system that you already know you're awake from. So... You know, it could definitely be a challenging energy right now. I'm not gonna, and it is sometimes, again, at harvest season, because not only are we celebrating things that we are bringing in, and that's spiritually, mentally, and physically, but again, we're also grieving things that didn't work, that maybe we've been asked to let go, and we could fully be doing that, both of those at the same time. And the equinox, equal day and night, right? Equal divine masculine, equal divine feminine. We're working on balance and harmony. So it's understandable if we're evaluating, Spirit is saying, two sides of that same coin. That's all right. So we have Four of Swords, Ten of Cups, Ten of, whoop, there the Ten of Wands. Look, there's our Ten of Wands came out. That's because once we receive the encouragement and we're reinvigorated and we do the work we need to do at the Nine of Wands, and we go and outstretch and evaluate, and some of those boundaries we still need to uphold, we come to the Ten of Wands and we take those up to the fire, we lay them on the fire, we release. Ten of Wands always makes me think like maybe once they got up to the hill, they laid all those wands on a bonfire that didn't belong to them, that they had carried unnecessarily as burdens, but for whatever reason, maybe there was a cycle there. Maybe there was a cycle of wisdom they had to glean from carrying that shit just one more time to realize, we like to call that contrast. I'm going to tell you, I don't know what it is yet, but I know what it ain't. And maybe sometimes we carry 6 or 7 more extra swords and we don't have to, because we got to get to a point where the sweat is pouring down. We get to the top of the mountain and we put the wands down on the bonfire and we celebrate at the end of harvest season, and we go, I ain't carrying that shit no more. Man, you got me on the last time. That was the last time. And then that's when a lot of those codes, a lot of those downloads, a lot of those integration points, that alchemy, it happens. It kind of clicks into place, right? And then we have the Ten of Cups and the Four of Swords, because we need to celebrate and rest. Ultimately, just celebrating rest, recovery. Four of Swords is kind of the go take a holiday from life card and just rest. The Ten of Cups for me is the Ten of Cups are going to look different for everybody, but for me it is a big gratitude card, because you're really at the end of a cycle that lets you reflect. Maybe once you're able to put down the additional wands from the Ten of Wands, you can truly sit in the Ten of Cups in a weekend like the second harvest weekend and say, dang, you know what? Like, there is really so much that I am really fucking grateful for. I was having this emotional moment, and I don't know, you guys, I love dog videos, okay? Like, I'm not even gonna lie. I love them, and I love my dogs, and I was just overcome with this moment of like how fortunate we are, how grateful I am to have animals in my life, and was just reflecting on how many life cycles and moments I've been in that have been so hard that my animals have helped me from. And it's just one example, but I was having this emotional moment about animals and how grateful I was. So, Ten of Cups, Four of Swords just encourages you to slow down, have some peaceful moments where you can really look at something and say, damn, if nothing else, that's a Ten of Cups right there for me. The fact that I get to craft candles and share wisdom and do certain things that I do every single day, and that's kind of my purpose. I would hate to call it a job. It's just such a womp womp title, but that's a huge Ten of Cups for me. Oh my gosh, I can't imagine telling like 17-year-old me, hey, guess what you're going to be doing? She would be like, what? No way. All right, big Ten of Cups moment. Oh my God, I'm so fulfilled. So even in a tough, challenging week, I'm really just not feeling well. I was still so blessed when I look at certain creations that I get to send people. And I know that the beautiful grid work of me walking through nature, and the beautiful grid work and energetic circulation of how we share these tools and creative expressions with each other, I really believe that they unlock codes and energetic transformation and healing. When I get an oil or a tool or something from someone else that is in my soul family, or I share with them, I mean, it's a huge energetic circulation in light families and soul families. So anyway, man, that's a Ten of Cups for me. That's going to be a new phrase. You know what? That's a Ten of Cups right there for me. It is. Like if I was adding, it's like having a gratitude list, and imagine if you put a cup up there every time you thought, man, you know what? If I go out tomorrow, I'm going to say these things right here, man, those filled some of my Ten of Cups for me. I'm so full of gratitude for those. So I did not expect for this to be a longer reading. But I really hope you guys enjoy your autumn equinox weekend, and understand in your wisdom the duality of it, but also the beauty of it. So I look forward to talking to you guys again next week. Please always know that you can check out my website if you would like to book personal readings. I do astrology and natal chart readings and interpretations. I do one-on-one tarot work. I have a monthly full moon group. I love to make candles and oils and ritual tools. So yeah, the easiest place to go is just to my website, because all of my socials are there. And you can also purchase custom candle orders as well. So, if you have a moment and you want to drop a line below about something that is a 10 of cups for you, let's just circulate gratitude through the collective. And if you don't have time to like or drop a comment, then definitely just reflect on your own. And it's a wonderful ritual to raise your vibration and refocus your perspective, because remember, you're always creating your reality. So love you guys and appreciate you. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll talk to you soon.